Sports Scene, Hampton Roads' premier interview show with Greg Bicouvaris, each Saturday from 10 a.m. to 11.
And you look at that, 4-4 at home, which is just average, 4-3-1 on the road. I mean, you're not going to win any games like that. They were not the same team after they beat the Packers, yet the Packers were a totally different team.
Interact with Sports Scene on Twitter @GregBic and listen weekly as Greg interviews distinguished guests with excellent commentary and insight. Sports Scene, Saturdays at 10 a.m. on the Lighthouse 100.1 FM. From Chesapeake, Virginia, the Lighthouse 100.1 presents Sports Scene. Sports Scene features local, regional, and nationally acclaimed guests and excellent interviews. Follow Sports Scene on Twitter @GregBic. Now here is Greg Bicouvaris.
Sports Scene presented by HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com. Sports Scene is midweek online, Saturday on WPMH, and TuneIn.com by typing WPMH in the search bar. Tell your friends about Sports Scene. Greg Bicouvaris along with Andrew. Twitter @GregBic, @GJB Radio, and you can see the rest of my Twitter handles on GJBTV.com. Thank you to our military. Guest lineup presented by Mi Casita Mexican Restaurant with 2 locations in Virginia Beach serving delicious Mexican food. Phone line presented by Outback Steakhouse in Kempsville, now delivering. GJBTV.com. Newport News Greek Festival coming up May 30th to June 2nd. For more, log on to NewportNewsGreekFestival.org and get all the latest information from HRSMHOF.com, the Hampton Roads Sports Media Hall of Fame. Great interviews, excellent guests, business segments, highlights, commentary. What teased me off? Thank you for listening to Sports Scene. We love our regulars, tourists, locals who listen online and on the radio. Stay tuned. Mark your calendar for May 30th to June 2nd at Saints Constantine and Helen Greek Orthodox Church in Newport News presents the Newport News Greek Festival. Eat, drink, and celebrate authentic Greek culture on the peninsula. Located at 60 Traverse Road off exit 258B on Route 17 in Newport News. For more, log on to NewportNewsGreekFestival.org. See you May 30th to June 2nd at the Newport News Greek Festival.
Opa! Catch up on archived editions of Sports Scene by going to GJBTV.com and clicking the YouTube image on the homepage. Now back to Sports Scene with Greg Bicouvaris.
I want to thank our good friends at Buffalo Wild Wings. Lunch, dinner, appetizers, great boneless traditional wings, salads as well, desserts, a kids menu, all the games on TV like Major League Baseball, golf, and tennis. Go by and see Matt and the great staff, open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner, late night food. Celebrate life right there at Buffalo Wild Wings in Newport News. Wings Beer Sports, located at 12150 Jefferson Avenue next to Patrick Henry Mall in Newport News, and support the Buffalo Wild Wings brand. Before we talk to Ian Locke, Steven Strasburg recently reached another milestone. He became the fastest player in Major League Baseball history to reach 1,500 strikeouts. It only took him 1,272 and a third innings. Congratulations to him, although his Nationals are struggling mightily this spring. All right, our regular featured guest, Ian Locke. Ian, how are you, my friend?
I'm great, Greg. Thanks. How are you?
Very good. We're well into May now. Let's give a report card.
Yeah, the Tides are playing a lot better baseball after kind of a rough start to the year. As we're chatting now, Tides are one of the top teams in our league in May. We started off really struggling a lot on the road, where we lost 9 of our first 10 road games, but have turned it around since then, and I think we're 7-3 or something like that over our last 10 road games, and pulled it even to the 500 mark a couple days ago, and we're a couple games below right now. But Tides are playing great baseball, hitting a lot of home runs, a lot of offense at the ballpark this year, which is very, very exciting, and hopefully it continues as the weather warms up.
I mentioned Steven Strasburg because he's a starting pitcher, and of course the trend for a lot of Major League Baseball pitchers are, you used to be 8 or 9, but now that was way back in the day. Now it's a good 5 or a good 6, then you got middle relief, then you got closing, and that's been an issue with the Nationals. How's it been with the Tides and the other teams you've seen in the IL?
It's interesting. At the minor league level, it's not so much. Guys kind of have to get their work in a certain way. So we don't really have. When folks look at the Nationals or the Orioles or Yankees or whoever, they have a designated closer, late setup relievers, maybe a left-handed guy out of the bullpen that might face a couple hitters here and there. At the minor league level, we have a whole bunch of guys that have closed games for us, and when I say closed games, they've just been the guys that it just happens to be their turn to pitch, and it's the end of the game, so they go in. We have, looking at our stats early on, we have 8 saves this year registered by 6 different people. So, we have a whole bunch of different guys that have kind of filled that role. That being said, our relievers have been pretty good for the most part, but sometimes, each reliever is different. So we have a pitcher named Chris Lee who pitches out of the bullpen every time, but he throws 3, 4, 5 innings in relief every time he's there, where we have another pitcher named Tanner Scott who has been Orioles fans are familiar with, who's been up with Baltimore a lot the last couple of years, and he throws, an inning and a third, 2 innings maybe, and that's it. So, guys have different things they're sent down here to work on, and each pitcher's a little different, and that's the way it is here at the minor league level.
Would you say the narrative of the Tides in 2019, what's the trend? Better hitting, better pitching, better fielding, or just all around pretty consistent?
In this league in general, I know we've talked in the past about how the International League, which is one of the 2 AAA leagues in professional baseball, has switched to the Major League Baseball this year, and the offensive numbers have really, really exploded in the league this year. We have, I think last year, the Tides had 2 players reach 10 home runs for the season, which, isn't a lot, but, that's typical. You may have 2, 3, 4 guys reach the 10 home run plateau, depending on, how many games they play in Norfolk. This year, we're on pace to have 7 guys reach the 10, at least 10 home runs. We're on pace to set our franchise record in home runs hit in a season. So, we went recently, I think, 11, 12 games in a row, something like that, where we hit a home run in 11, 12 games in a row. So, balls are jumping out of the ballpark. And the funny thing is, it's only, it's mid-May, late May. Once June, July, August hit, when the ball really takes off, those numbers should even get any higher. So, fans coming out to the ballpark you don't see a whole lot of 1-0, 3-1 games anymore. We get a lot more like 8-6 slugfests, and it's definitely been exciting to watch. A lot of offense, and the Tides are really never out of a ball game.
Speaking of the fans, they're always, on Facebook, of course, you're interacting. You are the man behind the scenes, kind of like the Wizard of Oz. You are the great wizard there. And, of course,
sure. You
can't please all the fans. Sometimes they can be just flat out rude anonymously on Facebook. I'll say that. You don't have to say it. But, you talk about the weather, and sometimes you have to cancel a doubleheader, or you almost have to play Ian Locke, the Weather Channel man, don't you?
Yeah, it's we get it. And like you mentioned, a lot of times, it's tough to say that, people respond differently on online than they do in real life, which is just a habit. If you go online to any, Facebook post or message board or whatever, people comment generally negatively. It's kind of sad to say, but, when you post something, people will like something or whatever, but not a lot of times are people necessarily going out of their way to say, hey, good job. You guys did great on that. People like to complain online. We know that's the nature of the business. And, we feel fan complaints. We know that, especially when it comes to weather. We do everything we can to play a game on time as scheduled, every time. But, fans understandably want to know if we're going to play a game at night, because it affects their travel plans, it affects their parking. Are they going to go somewhere for dinner? There's a lot of things that we know go into going out for a night at the ballpark, and that's why we try and be as forward as we can about it. But for fans listening, we will always try and play the game on time as scheduled, just because it messes. Rainouts are no fun for anyone involved. They impact fans' tickets and travel plans. They disrupt our promotional schedule, our game day staff that comes to the park to work. When we have group outings, picnics, or patios, on the field wise, our pitching rotation, our players and team, we have double headers when we have rainouts. So we'd like to avoid rainouts whenever we can. And sometimes we have to play in crummy weather, which kind of stinks, but that's the nature of the business. And we just try to be, as straightforward as we can online with fans and let them know, hey, we'll let you know an update as soon as we get it. We're not, like I always say, we're not very good at keeping secrets online. As soon as we get an updated start time, or if the game is postponed or delayed or what it is, we'll pass that along as soon as we have it. So please bear with us, and please bear with the almighty Oz behind the curtain, because he gets frustrated answering those same questions, but he's happy to do it, that's for sure.
Well, let me just say this too, because this affects, and I'll tell the fans, they all know we're in broadcasting and media and so forth. Good example, I worked the Nationals Cubs game recently for Fox. 7:15 start. We're there by 3 o'clock. The camera guys are there early in the morning for a 7:15 start. Now, of course, a baseball game on television like that, a national game, or even a regionalized Fox game might last 3.5 hours. So, folks, it's not like turning a light switch on and everything comes to play. And Ian can tell you the staff is there in the morning sometimes for a night game and also a doubleheader. But the players get there early for batting practice and just to get used to lay of the land.
Yeah, it's a typical day. I mean, you nailed it. A typical day for most of our front office staff here at the Tides. If we have a night game at 7 o'clock, we're generally in here at about 9:30 in the morning. So if you figure a game goes about 3 hours or so on average, a 7 o'clock game's ending around 10. By the time fans leave the ballpark, on my end, updating social media and our website and statistics and whatever needs to be done. I'm generally getting out of here at about 11:30 at night. It's a 14-hour day. Then we do that again in baseball. Homestands. We play 8, 10 games in a row, somewhere around there. So you're looking at 14 hours, not just once, but 7-8 days out of that stretch. And we're answering weather questions all day long, and we want to know if the game's going to be played too. And it's a lifestyle for sure to work that many hours. And we want the games to be played. We put in so much effort to have promotions every night, and just picture say we're giving away hats on a Friday night or fireworks on a Saturday, and it rains that day. Not only does it affect the fans' tickets coming out to the ball game, but now we need to reschedule those fireworks that a sponsor may have paid for, or the hats that we were going to give away that night. We have pretty much everything promotional schedule filled throughout the season, so then it's a matter of a big hassle for us too to move those hat nights around or reschedule fireworks. And, like I said, it gets game day staff to work doubleheaders. So we'd like to avoid rainouts whenever we can. Obviously, we'd love sunny, perfect weather all the time, and that wouldn't be an issue. But, that's part of the business, and we try to adapt to it whenever we can.
All right, let's talk June. Let's talk promotions. What's going on for the homestands? How many home games in June?
Yeah, we got a good stretch of games in June, pretty much every other weekend in June. So fans looking out at our promo schedule can actually look online at NorfolkTides.com to check out our promo schedule. But one thing they can do is notice that every Saturday night, the rest of the year, we have fireworks. So every time we have a home game throughout the rest of the season on a Saturday night, we have fireworks. So every Saturday fireworks at the ballpark, and you can't beat that. We also have a couple big days in June where we giving away some hats nights. We have our baseball card giveaway in mid-June. Marine Corps night on June 15th, which also is a fireworks night as well. That's a big one where we honor the brave men and women that serve in the U.S. Marine Corps. Father's Day at the ballpark on Sunday, June 16th. There's actually a pregame catch on the field. Fans can come on early. The gates open early that day, and fathers and sons, mothers and sons, mothers and daughters, whoever wants to play catch on the field can do so on Father's Day from 11:45 a.m. to 12:15 before our day game that day. So that's always a cool experience to have fans go out there and play catch on the field. And we have a lot of stuff. And we have a Turn Back the Clock night, our 50-cent hot dog night, where we give away we do 50-cent hot dogs, popcorn, and sodas. That's later on June 24th. And then we have our Pajaritos, our Copa de la Diversión promotions that we've had going on. We have a Pajaritos bobblehead later on in the month on June 28th. So a lot of stuff going on. Like I said, NorfolkTides.com, you can click on our promotions link and see what we have going on every day. But we have something every day. So even if it's a simple Tuesday night, with not a ton of giveaways, we also have drink specials, and we do service industry professionals can show their ID and get discounted tickets. So we always try and do something every night to keep the fans entertained.
Very nice. Really something for everyone at Harbor Park. And you talk about there's always something going on. All right, Ian, I'm going to give you a 1-year warning. We need a media game in 2020. So you got it in the calendar, 2020. Do it on a slow Monday or Tuesday night. Let's have a 3-inning media game.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see you hitting some home runs out there and making diving catches, that's for sure.
Exactly. All right, let me ask you one question. Of course, a lot of the Tides fans, year 3, no Dave Rosenfield. Unfortunately, he passed away several years ago. This is the 3rd season without him. How's it been for the staff? Some staff didn't know him, but of course, most of the staff did.
Yeah, I mean, you're never going to be able to replace a guy like Dave Rosenfield. I mean, he was the Tides for so long. I mean, for folks who don't know, he was the general manager for over 50 years of the team. It started, in 1962, I believe, were the Tides, and outlasted 3 ballparks over that stretch. I mean, it's unreal the career he had. But his legacy is all over the ballpark. I mean, there's a lot of things we do here. The 50-cent hot dog night, the Bark in the Park. Things that we did when Dave was here that we still do. And it's certainly a learning curve to get past him when he passed away, to adapt to some of the stuff without him. But Joe Girardi, our general manager, has done such a great job, and having Ken Young as our president over the years, that's a very consistent basis we've had baseline here. So Ken's owned the team since 1993. So you have a lot of longevity there, and we have a very, very veteran staff here as well. So there's I've been here for way too long, probably since 2005 was my first season, and we have a whole lot of other folks that have been here for 10 plus years. So while it stunk that obviously when Dave did pass away, but we had a lot of folks here that know what they're doing, and we were able to pick it up and keep on going.
Yeah, finally, social media.
Yeah, so that folks, like I said, can check out our promotional schedule and everything else for the Tides at NorfolkTides.com. They can also check us out on Facebook, Facebook.com/Norfolk Tides, or they can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Norfolk Tides as well. So we're always posting stuff, and any questions, feel free to reach out through any of those channels, and the man behind the wizard will do his best to respond to you.
Very good. Ian, all the best. We'll talk to you very soon.
All right, take care, Greg.
Thank you. All right, Ian Locke right there from the Norfolk Tides, public relations. He's the man who gets all the PR and the good stuff with the Tides. Stay tuned. Mark your calendar for May 30th to June 2nd as Saints Constantine and Helen Greek Orthodox Church in Newport News presents the Newport News Greek Festival. Eat, drink, and celebrate authentic Greek culture on the peninsula. Located at 60 Traverse Road off exit 258B on Route 17 in Newport News. For more, log on to newportnewsgreekfestival.org. See you May 30th to June 2nd at the Newport News Greek Festival.
Opa! Interact with Sports Scene on Twitter at Greg Bick. Email bicogb@hotmail.com. Now back to Greg Bicouvaris in the Hampton Roads OnlineMall.com studios.
And welcome back to Sports Scene in that festival mode, May, June, all the great summer activities, barbecue, and of course, we've got the Newport News Greek Festival May 30th to June 2nd. For more, log on to newportnewsgreekfestival.org. You've seen it on radio, TV, billboards, movie ads, the newspapers, and of course, in person will be Laconico and his world-class olive oil, Dinos Pierrakos, a regular here. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for having me on, Greg.
Yeah, award-winning. And before we talk about your awards, go ahead and recap the Norfolk Festival. Give us the lay of the land for the people that did not attend, and how were the 4 days there?
It was amazing. Beautiful weather, amazing food. This year, the food was, it seemed even better than every other year. We had even a bigger crowd than we've had in the past. It was just, we couldn't have asked for anything better. It was just amazing.
So when you talk about some of the awards you win, tell us about, you've been all over the country.
Yes, we have. We've been all over the country promoting our family's award-winning olive oil. We were actually just recognized by Forbes as the one of 3 top producers in the world to know about. We got the gold medal in the largest competition in the world, in the New York International Olive Competition, just 2 weeks ago. So we're riding the wave of just gold awards and recognition. So we produce one of the world's best Greek extra virgin olive oils that comes from the southern coast of Sparta, Greece, on our family's olive grove, which is actually located right on the beach, just 100 meters off the shore.
Talking to Dinos Pierrakos with his world-class olive oil. You can see his link on HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com. We'll get his information as well, where you can go to his website and browse, shop, and visit. Olive oil is good for not only, vegetables, but really pretty much on a lot of different foods. Talk about what it goes with.
Yes, I mean extra virgin olive oil. Most people assume that extra virgin olive oil is good on salads, when actually extra virgin olive oil is amazing and actually emphasizes the flavors of anything you drizzle it over. Especially if you have a quality extra virgin olive oil, it really pulls out a lot of the flavors from the food and adds to it. We have, like you said, we produce one of the world's best extra virgin olive oils. We also infuse our award-winning olive oil with, for example, Meyer lemon, garlic, which happens to be one of the most popular infused olive oils in our line, rosemary, that of course you cook with all of them the same way as you would with any ingredient. You're able to use our extra virgin olive oil in sautéing, in frying, in baking, even in baking. For example, we have an amazing blood orange extra virgin olive oil that when people hear it, they're like, blood orange, what is that? But it's a very sweet, citrusy orange that emphasizes the flavors on the salad. Even if you're baking desserts like brownies, instead of using canola oil that the recipe says, you incorporate the blood orange extra virgin olive oil, and it just gives your brownies and desserts an amazing flavor. So you use extra virgin olive oil the same way as you would use any other oil. Another misconception that people usually think of extra virgin olive oil is that you shouldn't cook with it. Well, like I said, that's a misconception, because an extra virgin olive oil, the cooking process of it is directly affected by its quality. The higher the quality of the extra virgin olive oil, the higher the temperatures it can withstand. Our extra virgin olive oil withstands 450 to 550 degrees cooking, so you can use it in just about pretty much everything.
Mm-hmm. Tell the people out there, and there are some people that are, unfortunately, they don't know olive oil, don't know vinegar, and you've got both, that they think they can go just to a random grocery store for a holiday weekend and pick up some generic vinegar and olive oil, but they're going to notice it right away.
Oh yes, once you've had quality, I promise you the only downside to our award-winning olive oil that I keep getting from everybody is that once you start using it, there's nothing like it, and that's the truth. When you start using quality extra virgin olive oil, the stored generic brands are just not the same. They're just not up to par in terms of fruitiness, velvetiness, butteriness. It just, like I said, amazing extra virgin olive oil emphasizes your food. It doesn't take away, or it's not just used to cook the food, but it helps to emphasize the flavor of the food. So you have to try it to believe it, and you have to come out and taste our family's award-winning olive oil to really, really appreciate and understand the difference of the generic brands versus an award-winning quality brand.
And, of course, you'll be at the Newport News Greek Festival May 30th to June 2nd. For several years now, you've been coming with your family down here. All the best, and we appreciate it. Go ahead and give us all your social media and contact information.
Of course, we will be at the Newport News Greek Festival, as you mentioned, next weekend. You will also be able to find us online if there's anything that you need at www.laconico.com. You can order online as well. So we would love any questions that anybody has. They're more than welcome to give us a call, email us. We're always here to teach and share quality, because that's the most important thing for us. It's not just the awards and the accolades that our family has achieved through these past years, but it's the passion that we have in sharing that award-winning quality that, like I said, that you can taste, quality that you can taste.
All right, we'll see you May 30th to June 2nd. And, of course, we look forward to it, and all the best and safe travels as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I look forward to it. Hope to see everyone out there.
Very good. Dinos Pierrakos right there from Laconico. And, of course, you can see his link on Hampton Roads, onlinemall.com. Stay tuned. Mark your calendar for May 30th to June 2nd as Saints Constantine and Helen Greek Orthodox Church in Newport News presents the Newport News Greek Festival. Eat, drink, and celebrate authentic Greek culture on the peninsula. Located at 60 Traverse Road off exit 258B on Route 17 in Newport News. For more, log on to newportnewsgreekfestival.org. See you May 30th to June 2nd at the Newport News Greek Festival.
Opa! You are listening to Sports Scene with Greg Bicouvaris. Now, back to Greg. It's now time for Greg's Highlights, presented by HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com.
Highlights, GJBTV.com, HRSMHOF.com, and our good friends at HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com. Browse, shop, visit GJBTV.com. Click that YouTube link on the homepage for archived audio and video. Question of the day presented by Buffalo Wild Wings and Newport News to our esteemed producer, Andrew. Andrew, when going out, whether you're by yourself or with your family, are you likely to complain when something is wrong about the meal, whether it's you or your family's meal, or call at home at a later time, or not complain at all?
Yeah, usually, well, depending on how you define wrong, if something looks gross or unclean, then yeah, there's no way. If it's just not exactly what I expected or just doesn't look as good as it could be, I usually let it go. And frankly, I don't eat out too much just because I hate the idea of what might end up on my food and in my body for that very reason.
Absolutely, and of course, not to mention delivery. You never know what's in somebody's car. There's a lot of intangibles when eating out. You have to always be clean, and hopefully the servers are clean as well. Stay tuned. Mark your calendar for May 30th to June 2nd as Saints Constantine and Helen Greek Orthodox Church in Newport News presents the Newport News Greek Festival. Eat, drink, and celebrate authentic Greek culture on the peninsula. Located at 60 Traverse Road off exit 258B on Route 17 in Newport News. For more, log on to newportnewsgreekfestival.org. See you May 30th to June 2nd at the Newport News Greek Festival.
Opa! Mold, trash, rodents, snakeskin, even deceased animals. No, this isn't a Halloween shopping list. It's what might be under your house, in your crawl space. Schedule a free crawl space inspection with the Crawl Space Company and find out what's in your crawl space. Call 757-394-3494 to schedule your free inspection or visit thecrawlspacecompany.net. So, do you know what's in your crawl space?
At Hartman Dentistry, not only do you experience exceptional customer service with compassionate dental care, but with our in-house lab, we're able to offer same-day dentures. Options are available for all budgets. Plus, we work with 2 credit companies that will finance treatment for patients without insurance or limited coverage. Call Hartman Dentistry today to learn more about how we can fix your smile faster. Call 757-873-3407. That's 873-3407.
Catch up on archived editions of Sports Scene by going to gjbtv.com and clicking the YouTube image on the homepage. Now back to Sports Scene with Greg Bicouvaris.
And I want to thank our good friends at Outback Steakhouse in Kempsville. Mike and the staff have a nice, spacious dining area, bar, lunch and dinner daily, 7 days a week, great occasions like Father's Day and all kinds of events going on, graduations, excellent burgers, steaks, soups, salads, seafood, pasta, chicken, all the great food at Outback. 1255 Fordham Drive in Virginia Beach in the Resort City. Give them a call at 523-4832, open 7 days a week. Like Outback Steakhouse on Facebook. Follow them as well on Twitter and all the social media as well. They deliver in Kempsville. Our regular guest right here for several years now, Gina Ippolito from Smithfield VA Events. Gina, how are you?
I am doing good today. How are you, Greg?
Great spring weather. Got to love the spring. And what does spring mean for Smithfield VA Events when you're in between events?
Well, it means we clean up. You know, we just finished our 8th season of events. As you know, we host 3 events annually. So we just wrapped up the, the 18-19 season with the Wine and Brew Fest that we held in April. And we just gave away the money the 1st of May at the check presentation, and we were pretty excited about that. We hit over $1 million in our total donations back to the community. So it was pretty exciting for us, and we are prepping and getting ready for the next season of events. But of course, we don't have an event until October. But so we get to chill out a little bit, and we do our strategic planning, we do our financial planning. The board gets together and sets the budget for next year. So behind the scenes, there's always something going on, but it's a little more relaxed because we don't have the pressure of a pending event in the near future.
Absolutely, because summertime is a season all to itself, and I think it's smart that you do things pretty much during the academic year when people are pretty much here as opposed to vacations, because the summer is a vacation time.
It is. I mean, we do start gearing up for our next event is October 5th, which is the Bacon Bourbon Music Fest, and like I said, we're doing some preliminary work now. We do start renewing sponsorships the end of June, first part of July. Tickets for that do go on sale like the end of July. Because I know October sounds a long way away, but it's the first part of October, and it just gets here really quick once fall starts. But I don't really want to dwell on that because I really want to enjoy the summer.
Exactly. Let's enjoy the rest of spring first before we get to summer. I know people that suffer from allergies don't exactly like the spring or the summer, but it is what it is. I'll take it over cold weather any day. As we're talking to Gina Ippolito from Smithfield VA Events, you mentioned you get a chance to process a little bit about your prior 3 events, and do you see a lot of changes year to year, because you're kind of a unique situation where all of your events are pretty much at the same location?
They are at the same location. We've, been going through some minor sites. I mean, we basically hold them at Windsor Castle Park in the Manor House historic easement section of the park. But that section has actually been under a restoration project for, they've been working on it for a few years, but it's actually been under construction for the last 2. And that restoration project, the barns have all been done. They were done last year. They've been focusing on the actual original manor house, and it will be complete in the fall, sometime in the October-ish, maybe November-ish time frame. They've basically gotten to the point in construction where they are working inside the house. Most of the exterior stuff is done, so weather really won't be a factor, over the summer as they continue to restore that building. And with that have been some site changes as far as, some additional spaces being able to be added to our festival site. And, of course, once the Manor House is done, then, we'll have to figure out if we want to incorporate it into our event somehow. So we're not really counting on that this year just because the project won't even be complete. I mean, they're saying late fall, but you know how construction is. It may be December or January, but they're really hoping to wrap that project up. But that's pretty exciting, and we've had to deal with their construction equipment over the last, season of events, kind of being on and off site. And but we're really excited when they finish that project, and they'll be moving out. And we've always made changes to Bob Fest through the years. We've gone with a bigger tent. We cannot do that. We have maxed out our space with the monstrosity of tents that we had last year. But we are repeating that again this year, so that's always exciting. And then we've got a new section of land. There was a winery that had some vineyards planted here that they've decided that they were no longer doing. And so back in our Brew Village area, it's opened up some more space to we're not really looking at increasing attendance, but it enables us to widen it and make it flow a little better. So we're messing around with some potential site option changes. And then, of course, we dealt with our first really big major rain event at the Wine Festival this year and learned some things about the site, when it had tremendous amount of rain on it at the day of an event. I mean, we've been so lucky. This was our 19th event over 8 years. And we've always dealt with weather for setup or cleanup or maybe a slight sprinkle during an event or something like that. But it was the first one in 8 years that we actually dealt with some pretty substantial rain on the day of the event. And we've got some places in the site we need to proactively probably just plan on not using again because it's too low. And having the additional space is going to allow us to do that. We just kind of have to figure out how the best way to lay it out is.
That's interesting you said that.
Work on all that stuff in the off season.
Well, how long has each event lasted? What year did, the Bacon Barbecue event start? And talk about the years the other 2 events started. Did they all start the same year?
No, the park went in May of 2010, which we did form in 2010. we decided not to hold our first event until April of 2012 was the first wine festival, and we just started off with the one event. And so in 2012 and 2013, we did just the April Wine and Brew Fest. And then in our third year, in 2014, we brought on the Bob Fest in January, and then we had the Wine and Brew in April, and then we brought on the Bacon Bourbon event in October. So 2014 was the first year we did all three events, and then we've done the three events ever since then. So it's been 8 years of doing events, 19 total. But of course now we hit the $1 million, which we're really excited. We'll hit the second $1 million a lot faster because the events have gotten a little bit bigger, and we've been smarter, and our sponsorship and our number of people coming to the events have increased, and so therefore our donations back to the community also have. So it won't take us 8 years to hit $2 million. We're hoping to hit it in 3 or 4. But yeah, so it's been an interesting. We've been doing events for 8 years, but the original board got together almost 10 years ago.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You and I connected back in 2014 for the Bacon Bourbon, so it's been 6 years of pure joy working with you.
Oh, my gosh, really? Has it been that long? It doesn't seem like it. We're not any older than we were back then. No,
on a few different radio stations, too, exactly. So, but it does, you mentioned the $1 million, it does take a team effort of community, of staff, of volunteers, but you draw from locals and tourists both.
We do. That is one of the cool things about our event. I mean, we are a small community. There are 8,000 people that live in the town of Smithfield, and we're located in Isle of Wight County that has, I think, 36,000 people. So, I mean, we're part of the coastal Virginia Hampton Roads, whatever they're deciding they're going to call themselves, But we're across the James River Bridge. We're up 17. We're not a far drive from anybody, and we've been shocked at about 60 to 65% of our crowd and our sponsorships are regional based, and are not just our local community, which makes it great for our small businesses here that give back to their community. But it's also been nice for the economic impact piece because we have people that come from Virginia Beach, Williamsburg, Richmond, Charlottesville, Stanton, from various Chesapeake. We've got a contingency that comes up from the Outer Banks. We even have, especially the Wine and Brew Fest, we have out-of-state folks that have been coming. There's a group every year that comes from Ohio and New Jersey and Pennsylvania, and they book hotel rooms and they stay. A lot of them make more than a weekend of it when they come to Smithfield in April. It's kind of like their spring, getaway from wherever they live up north.
Yeah, right.
And we've been a little surprised at that. I mean, we're thrilled with it. It's nice. To bring tourism dollars into your community. And, of course, Smithfield itself, there's lots of other things to do here. So when people decide to come, just for they come for the festival, but then they also stay an extra day or two and do some of the other things. We've got lots of locally owned, very creative restaurants, shopping downtown. There's a lot of history here. People take, the historical tours of the museum and St. Luke's, church when they're here. We have a pretty good art scene going on here with some art galleries, and so there's an interest for just depending on what it is you like to do, that you can find something to do in Smithfield and be here for 2 or 3 days. So
really talking to Gina Ippolito right there from Smithfield VA Events at Greg Bick on Twitter. It's GREGBIC. And, of course, our show comes on every Saturday morning from 10 to 11 on 2 radio stations, 100.1 FM, 1010 AM, online, live at the same time anywhere in the world on TuneIn.com by typing WPMH. For more, go to GJBTV.com. You can see Gina's link on Hampton Roads Online Mall.com. Talk about how people can contact you and sponsors for future events.
They can get a hold of me. Again, I am Gina Ippolito with Smithfield VA Events. Our website is www.smithfieldvaevents.com, and my email address is all over it, along with my phone number. But if you want my phone number, it's 757-869-0664. And if you're interested in getting involved with us as a sponsor for the next season of events, you can start contacting me now. We'll be renewing our current sponsors over the next month or so, and then we'll be taking on the new ones with our party chalets and tables and small business sponsorships. So there's one more thing I'd like to say, just because if anybody's out there listening, we are in the process of hiring a full-time assistant festival coordinator. We had a part-time volunteer manager that was with us for, almost 3 years, and she left to take full-time employment, and we are substituting that position with actually a full-time position. So if you know anybody interested, again, you can find it on the website. There's a link on the homepage that says we're hiring and explains the job description. And so if you've got a special event background and you like to do some fun, crazy stuff, I'm not promising it's all glamorous because it's not, but it is a lot of fun. And like I said, we turn back around, and it's a pretty cool feeling to donate, to be a part of something that donates all that money back to our community. So.
Yeah, it really is a great cause. Gina, all the best. We will look forward to talking to you again soon. Always great to hear your voice and continue success. You really are the rock that keeps this going with your great staff.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to gearing up for another season, and you have a great rest of the spring and early summer, and I will talk to you soon.
And on Facebook, too. There you go.
And on Facebook, too, yeah.
That's great. All right, Gina Ippolito right there from Smithfield VA Events. Big part of the South Side, but a big part, like she said, of the Mid-Atlantic region, because people come from all over the country to her nice events. Stay tuned.
Mark your calendar for May 30th to June 2nd as Saints Constantine and Helen Greek Orthodox Church in Newport News presents the Newport News Greek Festival. Eat, drink, and celebrate authentic Greek culture on the peninsula. Located at 60 Traverse Road off exit 258B on Route 17 in Newport News. For more, log on to newportnewsgreekfestival.org. See you May 30th to June 2nd at the Newport News Greek Festival.
Opa! Mold, trash, rodents, snakeskin, even deceased animals. No, this isn't a Halloween shopping list. It's what might be under your house, in your crawl space. Schedule a free crawl space inspection with the Crawl Space Company and find out what's in your crawl space. Call 757-394-3494 to schedule your free inspection or visit thecrawlspacecompany.net. So, do you know what's in your crawl space?
At Hartman Dentistry, not only do you experience exceptional customer service with compassionate dental care, but with our in-house lab, we're able to offer same-day dentures. Options are available for all budgets. Plus, we work with 2 credit companies that will finance treatment for patients without insurance or limited coverage. Call Hartman Dentistry today to learn more about how we can fix your smile faster. Call 757-873-3407. That's 873-3407.
Catch up on archived editions of Sports Scene by going to gjbtv.com and clicking the YouTube image on the homepage. Now back to Sports Scene with Greg Bicouvaris.
And welcome back to Sports Scene. Always a pleasure to talk to Brenda Tusing from the Royal Chocolate. Brenda, how are you?
I'm great. How are you? This is a gorgeous day.
It is. I just love this month of May, and of course, June is Father's Day. But tell us about the recap for Mother's Day, first of all.
We had a wonderful Mother's Day. We did gifts. We deliver locally all year long. I think some people don't really know that about us, but all year long you can have your gifts delivered locally. We do ship, but that's only seasonal in the cooler weather. So we had a lot of deliveries. And it's really nice for us because people that are out of town, a lot of times service people that aren't in the area right now, can have something hand-delivered to their mom with a note that, they tell us what to write, of course, and then we write a note inside. So we did a lot of deliveries, tons and tons of strawberries. We felt for a minute like it was Valentine's Day. So it was, it was a great time. We had a lot of people in for fondue. So it was, all in all, it's a wonderful Mother's Day.
It sounds like it, too. Each year, is there a different trend, Brenda? What's more popular among the chocolate world?
I think we have sort of narrowed it down for us. And there are trendy things, and we try to stay, of course, on top of that. But when it comes to holidays, what we find is the things that people specifically come to us for are the things that we make in the store. All of the products that we have there. We have a case and a half of things that we make fresh. And then also our gourmet apples, which, of course, are made there as well. We use the big Granny Smith apples. We coat those in caramel. I could eat a whole can of that caramel. It's embarrassing how much caramel I could eat.
Oh, definitely.
Then we roll them in all kind of toppings, more Belgian chocolate, more stuff on top. So those are the big things. That and our truffles do really, really well anytime we have a holiday or anything we're celebrating.
And, of course, some great coconut or peanut butter. Talk about one of the most popular toppings lately and mixes as well, because I think that's, you talk about the M&Ms. There's all types of varieties that people like, and I guess that's the whole spice of life variety.
Yeah, we have, especially for our apples, we have 12 different apples that we feature, and then we usually do an apple of the month. It's kind of funny. We were talking just the other day in a meeting about, well, what should our apple of the month be for June? And I think we're going to do the sea salt pretzel. So we're going to have an apple with some pretzel and sea salt and dark chocolate or milk or white, whatever you prefer. So, yeah, we always think of Dad's a sweet and a little salty.
Well, one good thing about doing the radio show this time of the year is the tourists are starting to come in. And over the years, you've told me, you and Terry both told me that a lot of tourists have come to your store that are regulars.
Yeah, and that's kind of fun. We see people and they'll, as we're chatting with them, and they'll say, yeah, this is our stop every year. They come in while they're here. They come in and buy things to consume while they're here. And then they make that last stop on their way home, and they'll say things like, if I go home without one of these apples, it's really, really it's very rewarding to see your business become somebody's have to go to spot when they're traveling. I have to come home with something from the Royal Chocolate. Everybody knows I'm in Virginia Beach. I can't go home without something from your store. Makes us feel really, really good.
It really does. There really is something for everyone. Talk about your store hours, and you have a lot of amenities there. Of course, you have a place to sit down. You've told me over the years where people have just gone there to revisit with their friends once a month, or just, a place, especially in the winter time, just to get out of the cold, in the summer to get out of the heat.
Get out of the heat, yep. We have a beautiful area with a fireplace, which it doesn't really, kick out a lot of heat, but nice ambiance, as they say, especially in the wintertime. But it's just a pretty little spot. We have seats for about 20 people. We do events. We're doing more and more events for children. For a couple of years, we've had the first Saturday of every month, we do a drop-in and make-your-own chocolate bar. And so we'll have one of those June 1st. That's a great opportunity for kids to come in and make a chocolate bar, decorate the box. It's a perfect gift for Dad. It's chocolate. It's something they've made themselves. It's only $10, and it's drop-in from 11 to 2 the first Saturday of every month. So that's a perfect opportunity. We had one of those right before Mother's Day, and a lot of kids came in and they were decorating and making something for Mom. So we do that. We do a kids camp. It starts June. Can't remember the date exactly. I'm sorry, I don't have my paperwork in front of me, but it's I think it's that second Tuesday in June 8th maybe. It's on Tuesday and Thursday, June, July, and through the middle of August. So kids will come in and spend from 11 to 2 with us, and they will make their own chocolate bar. They get to dip a chocolate or an apple in caramel, and then they do a Rice Krispie treat. They take all those things home with them, of course, and they have pizza with us, pizza and a beverage. They play games. We have a lot of fun. We have a giant Jenga game. Sometimes we set that up. Kids love that, and it's great fun when it all falls down.
Nice, and it's a great place to stroll around the town center as well. The town center's got a lot of summer activities going on in Virginia Beach. How's that working out, Brenda?
The summer activities are great. I have to commend Town Center for everything that they put into that area. I mean, if you're looking for a landlord and management company that really partners with you to bring people to Town Center, it's the DeVaris company. They've been great for us. But they have Why Not Wednesday, which is over by the Sandler Center. That's a very popular event, and it's free. All these things are free. They will have events right there by the fountain area, music, and you know what? It's such a great family environment. It's a comfortable, clean, well-lit area. We see so many people around in the evening with their kids, their whole families. It's a great spot.
It really is, too. And for a person who grew up in this area and who loves the beach as much as I do, that, folks, you're not going to find a better city in the state. We don't have that much murders. We don't have much crime. Sure, we do. We're not going to be naive here.
Right.
But it's just a great place to live, a great place to browse, shop, and visit. And Town Center is a big part of it. Your store, well over a decade now, is a big part of it. And let's talk about it. It's summer. People want those refreshing beverages, too.
Hey, and you know what? I'm glad you brought that up because we have frozen hot chocolate. What an oxymoron, right? But they're frozen beverage, very much the consistency of like a really nice milkshake. And we have them in a variety of flavors. So starting the 3rd of June from 2 to 4, Monday through Friday, we have a happy hour, and they are 2 for $1. So you can come in with your friend and get 2 frozen beverages for the price of 1. But even if it's not happy hour, they're worth every penny. I had somebody tell me they were a life-changing experience. Now, I don't know if they're all that, but they are certainly very good.
Right. And you mentioned the kids. That kind of made me laugh a little bit because kids' taste buds are different from when I was a kid. My younger sister's daughter likes chai tea latte, and folks, she's only 6. She's 6 years old.
I know. I know. My grandchildren love sushi.
Yeah.
We go out for dinner. My 5-year-old granddaughter orders edamame. Who does that at 5?
Right.
But you're right. They're not the boring chocolates, and they'll come to my store and they want the dark chocolate.
They want to evolve.
It's really fun to see because you're right. As kids are changing anyway, so they're so bright. They know so much about everything. But their tastes have changed too as well.
Leave us with all your social media and how contact information.
Oh, gosh, we're in the Virginia Beach Town Center, 164 Central Park Avenue. We are now located directly across the street from Williams-Sonoma and the Pottery Barn. You can find us on Facebook, of course. We do have an Instagram page. I know you want me to have all the ...
That's all right. That's all right.
And I never know them. And phone number 757-557-6925. And, of course, we have a website, theroyalchocolate.com. So come check us out. We have free samples all day, every day.
Yeah, and a great place to sit down and relax, like we said.
It is a great place to sit and relax. And you're absolutely right.
It's really the only store that you don't have to do window shopping. You can do it indoor shopping.
Indoor shopping.
Yeah.
That's right.
Brenda, enjoy the rest of your evening, and we will talk to you soon. Always good to hear your voice.
All right, talk soon.
Very good. All right, Brenda Tusing right there from the Royal Chocolate. Really a great place for dessert, beverages, candy, chocolate, and, of course, open 7 days a week. Also, at this time, during the holidays and Memorial Day and coming up on July 4th, we'd like to welcome the men and women in uniform serving around the world, listening to today's version of Sports Scene on TuneIn.com by typing in WPMH each Saturday morning from 10 to 11 and archived on YouTube and Twitter. Go to GJBTV.com on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. That's GJBTV.com. No dot. GJBTV.com on YouTube. Stay tuned.
Mark your calendar for May 30th to June 2nd as Saints Constantine and Helen Greek Orthodox Church in Newport News presents the Newport News Greek Festival. Eat, drink, and celebrate authentic Greek culture on the peninsula. Located at 60 Traverse Road off exit 258B on Route 17 in Newport News. For more, log on to newportnewsgreekfestival.org. See you May 30th to June 2nd at the Newport News Greek Festival.
Opa! What tees you off? Presented by HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com.
And before we get to what teased me off, I want to thank our good friends at CP Shuckers, locals tradition on Shore Drive, Pacific Avenue. People love their delicious food, great appetizers, steak bites, sandwiches, all the great specials, all the games on TV like Major League Baseball on Fox, golf and tennis. Go by and see all the great chefs there as well. Get a great meal, like them on Facebook, and of course, go to their website at CP Shuckers for all the great seafood and food information, your summer headquarters. What teased me off, Joe Daniel, eating a nice piece of fish and all of a sudden realizing there's a lot of bones in that fish.
Yeah, well, I don't eat much fish, or exactly zero fish, so I can't relate, but I'm sure that's got to be nasty.
We live in an entitled type of world where people just assume, sometimes you assume wrong. This is what I don't like. Okay does not mean yes or no. When you reply back okay, that doesn't tell me anything with conviction.
Yeah, I think with the emergence of email, and now especially that so much, even business, is done through text, you really have to be clear, because it's frustrating to have to text someone back, okay, thanks, but is it yes or no? Affirmative or negative? I need clarity on what you're saying.
Emails and texting both are vague, and you come across like you're being strong, but you really need to know an answer, like Andrew said. All right, this is really bad for the people that like unsweetened tea. Ordering unsweetened tea and then getting sweet tea instead.
Well, I've never enjoyed unsweet tea. I'm a good Southern boy who loves it as sugary as possible, so I would be the exact opposite.
Yeah, I like my lemon in my tea, but we're all different. All right, add-ons by restaurants when you start seeing the bill, like extra for tomatoes, extra for diced onions. I mean, come on. You never saw that several years ago. Now they're trying to make a profit on every little vegetable.
Oh, yeah, they'll try and get you coming and going, and every little bit helps them, and every little bit encourages you to stay at home and eat a little bit cheaper and healthier.
Exactly. All right, we don't want to see big egos anytime, but big egos by church leaders, I mean, come on. When you're involved with your church, it's for, giving back to the man upstairs, not for what's in your own agenda.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think we're at a point where having very egotistical leaders is kind of becoming a virtue in our churches, where we want them. They're becoming salespeople and promoters, and I personally don't like it either. I think it's an issue, and I think it's doing more harm than good.
Yeah, a pastor is a pastor. Shouldn't have to be involved with Facebook and what's going on in every club and activity at church. Then it becomes too much, and then you start losing that spiritual touch. All right, I thought I'd, seen everything, but this has got to be going on during the summer. Minors, parents, when there's a minor 17 and under, he's a minor, she's a minor, they shouldn't be left out in public by themselves.
Yeah, I don't know what the laws are about that, but I know that they're there, and I know that they're there for a reason. And 16, 15, 17-year-olds, they're not capable of making the best decisions. They need some oversight and supervision for everyone's sake.
And a lot of them can't drive at 15 or 16. You know that. All right, commitments. We all know about commitments, Andrew. You realize you say yes. A few weeks later, you sleep on and you say, oh boy, what did I agree to?
I've done this a few times, and I pretty much don't do it anymore, because that is a painful lesson to learn. And I can think of a few times where I woke up the next day and thought, oh my gosh, what a nightmare I've just signed up for. Yeah,
you're like in a group meeting at night, maybe a church meeting, and everybody says, oh yeah, I'll do it. Then you wake up, like you said, the next morning, oh boy, what did I get myself into? Or any other dinner commitment, especially a commitment, Andrew, on a weekend, especially a Saturday when you're trying to decompress a little bit.
Absolutely.
All right, working at night, that's never fun.
No, well, I do a lot of that, and I've enjoyed it at times because everything's nice and quiet, and depending on the work you're doing, and you tend to not get bothered and interrupted as much. But yeah, it can be a real pain when you've got schedules that are conflicting and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I like to do my own computer work, and I get a lot done writing checks, whatever. But I'm talking about just having to work like an 8-hour shift for somebody else. That can be very difficult. All right, last thing that teased me off. I've seen this at grocery store buffets and bakeries, especially when you see open items like bread or pastries that really aren't covered, and you start seeing people, instead of using the something to pick it up properly that's an utensil, they end up moving the biscuit or the rolls with their hands, and it's open window, and it really disgusts you.
That disgusts me, and there is a grocery store in our area that has their bakery. Just everything is open. There's no closing lid. So sneezes, coughing, a lot of it's at the height of small children, and I will not buy fresh stuff from them just because I just think, how gross is that? I don't use their bakery section at all, even though I shop in the store. I just, talking about spreading germs.
Yeah, you can see it and you can touch it. You shouldn't pick it up. All right, unless it has a lid on it. Stay tuned.
Thank you, too, for your great show, because it really makes people think about topics that are important. I listen and I love, and I've called in before, too. I just really appreciate your program. I also think that it's good to have debates because it lets us all dig a little deeper. Hey, what does God's Word say about that? So I appreciate your show. I think it's great, and I think we all should be digging deeper into the Word of God and seeking God as to what He's called us to do.
Be sure to tune into Picking Up the Habit every Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. here on the Lighthouse 100.1 FM.
I want to thank our guests today, Ian Locke, Dinos, Pierrakos, Gina, Ippolito, and Brenda Tusing. For more, go to gjbtv.com, at Greg Bick on Twitter. That's GREGBIC. You can add me on Facebook as well. I want to thank our great crew today led by Andrew. For more, go to gjbtv.com, HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com, and HRSMHOF.com. Tell your friends about Sports Scene every Saturday morning right here on WPMH from 10 to 11. For Andrew, I'm Greg Bicouvaris. Be safe, enjoy the weekend, enjoy every day, and we'll talk to you soon.